Race Drivin was released in August 1990 and is the follow-up to Hard Drivin. Unlike most racing games of its time, Race Drivin attempts to model real-world car physics. However, it fails big time in this area. Still, it included a true force feedback steering wheel, an ignition key and 4-speed gear stick, and 3 foot pedals, an accelerator, a brake and a clutch. The clutch being a control seldom seen in any video game, then or even now. 3 different tracks are available to choose from: the regular stunt track, which is very similar to the one in Hard Drivin', the autocross track and the super stunt track. Unfortunately for this video, I had massive difficulty configuring the controls to work with my Xbox 360 controller, hence the awful gameplay footage. I was constantly struggling with the controls. Holy shit, is this a piss poor pile of steam and puke or what? This Amiga port is completely unplayable. First, let's talk about the awful control options. You have a choice of either mouse or joystick. Using the mouse you do actually get an accelerate and brake, but the value at which these work is crazy. You can go from 0 to 40 within a second. There's no control at all over the speed. Then we have the steering. Oh man, it's way too sensitive no matter what setting you use. Playing with the joystick is even worse. Now you have to push forward to accelerate, but because the car shoots off, you end up crashing every time you move the stick. Now let's talk about the graphics. They're awful. A very poor frame rate in the single figures. Loads of scenery missing and graphical glitches as far as the eye can see. What a load of crap. But hey, it does come with an animation on the first disc. Whoopie-doo. Well, basically everything I said about the Amiga port is also true for the Atari ST port, apart from this controls a little better. Not much better, but a little. It also runs a little smoother. It's still pretty awful to play though. DOS port is again the same as the Amiga and ST, but this time it plays rather well. It still needs some work, but it is playable and much smoother. You can also choose between CGA, VGA and Tandy color modes, as well as various sound modes. You are listening to the Sound Blaster 16 audio here, which decided to stop working once the race started. Oh well. Finally, at long last, a playable version of Race Drivin. The original hard driving on the Mega Drive was pretty good, so it's no surprise to see the follow-up is too. While it does have quite a lot of the floor missing on the mountainside, it does make up for it by providing a faster frame rate than the Amiga and ST. As an added bonus, this Mega Drive port also includes a basic track editor. While it's nothing amazing, it is nice to mess about with. And you probably thought things couldn't be any jerkier than the Amiga port. Well, welcome to the world of Super Nintendo. As you can see, this port is awful when it comes to frame rate. But believe it or not, it's actually more playable than the Amiga and ST ports. It's still awful, mind you. Apart from the frame rate, the game's other major downfall is the time limit. It's beyond tight. It requires you to take the whole course at full speed. Never mind those signs telling you to take a corner at 40 miles per hour. In this port, you can take them at 120 miles per hour and still stay on the road. Obviously, the speedo is useless in this game.
move on.
The PlayStation port of Race Drivin is rather rare. Known as Race Drivin A Go-Go, this port features the original arcade game, which looks fairly nice with its smooth frame rate and high resolution. It controls well too, plus you can also drift the car. But what let it down is the polygon bending, which I did notice, however, it's not a big problem. Or at least in the arcade mode it isn't. Play the A Go-Go mode and it's a whole different story. This mode features all new, very poorly designed courses that are texture mapped and it looks a mess. Textures are warping like crazy. There's pop-up all over the place and it seems to slow down too. Forget about this mode and stick with the arcade mode. Oh, and the mention must go to the annoying announcer. Thankfully, he can be switched off.
Off-road. Instant replay. Let's go.
And here we are with the Saturn port. Running in a higher resolution than the PlayStation, but with more pop-up, this port is also fairly well done. It also features a texture map mode, but it does differ from the PlayStation port. In the Saturn game, they have a mode called Real Mode. Basically, it's the normal arcade tracks, but texture mapped. This mode does tend to slow down and does have some texture warping. However, it's not as bad as that found on the PlayStation. Still, the slowdown does affect gameplay, so it's best to avoid this mode. Holy crap, is this good or what? I'm not messing about when I tell you this is the best playing port of Race Drivin featured on the video yet. It feels just right. The weight of the car, the way it turns, and the ability to turn at speed. It's all good. Argonaut Software, who developed this port, can pat themselves on the back. Nothing at all to complain about here. And let's take a look at all those versions of Race Drivin running side by side. Which one do you think is the best?